Hey y'all, Irix Guy here, and I want to provide a first impressions video for the Sony 24-70GM, also referred to the Sony 24-70G Master. Now this lens is a real beast. It's got a constant f2.8 aperture. If you're not super familiar with what that means, it means that you can get some really good shallow depth of field from this lens. So if you want to get that bokeh, that blurred background, whatever you want to call it, for both photos and video, this is a great lens to do that. This is a very well-made lens, but with that being said, the lens is quite heavy. It's not too heavy and it's not too big, but it's probably going to be noticeably larger than most of the lenses and noticeably heavier than most of the lenses that you use. And a lot of that's because of the high quality materials. The glass, obviously, to get this optical sharpness is super high quality. So it's kind of a lot of people have complained because they said, well, the mirrorless camera bodies are so small and so lightweight, and then once you strap a lens like a G Master on it, it kind of negates the value that the mirrorless camera added. And I disagree, because if I'm going to travel very small and very lightweight, I'll throw my baddest prime lenses in. I'll throw in my baddest 85, I'll throw in my baddest 25, and maybe something in the middle like the baddest 40 or the manual focus Loxia 50. So if I want to go small and lightweight, I'll do that. But, putting all those primes in a backpack, even though they're smaller and lighter, as far as space is concerned, what I've found, this 24-70G Master, and then also the 16-35G Master, traveling with those in a little individual, the cases they come in, and I don't know why Sony did that, both the 24-70 that we're reviewing here, and also the 16-35, it's just a huge bag. I got some cases, and you can check the links within this video's description to find them there, but they're very form-fitting cases for both the 24-70G Master and also the 16-35G Master. So it zips up and it keeps it very compact. Sure, it's still kind of large and kind of heavy, but at least it adds to the size and weight of the lens very minimally, so that's important. But I found the sharpness of this lens to be outstanding. The color is great. Obviously this lens, I'm zoomed in all the way 70mm. So I'm filming this video at 70mm f2.8 aperture with autofocus. So that's another thing. This lens handles autofocus very well for both video and stills, and I'm using the A7R III for this. Again, expand this video's description and then click the links there, and you can find where to order all the the camera bodies, the lenses, tripod, microphone, and all of that good stuff. But it's just a really good performer, and obviously it's a native lens that's made by Sony. So a lot of people say, man, the price is kind of steep, but if you look at the quality of this lens is for both photo and video, and you're not just getting one lens, you're getting multiple focal lengths. You're getting 24 all the way to 70mm. So if you think about that, if you were buying individual prime lenses, or fixed focal length lenses, buying multiple lenses the price would go up. I mean, you'd be buying multiple lenses. With this, you're paying that price and you're getting a zoom lens that'll go all the way from 24 to 70. So some people say f2.8 aperture is not good enough. I found f2.8 to be perfectly shallow. Sure, my baddest 85mm that I use is I think it's f1.8, but if I need to use that, I'll just take the G Master off and pop the baddest on. It's small, it's lightweight. I can carry it in my backpack with all my other lenses. My 16-35G Master, the 24-70G Master. So it's an interesting lens, and having the focus hold button on the side is nice. Having the toggle on the side to switch between autofocus and manual focus is nice. What this lens doesn't have, that its bigger brother, the 70-200 and the 100-400G Master have, they have a thing, where you can, for the zoom, or is it the zoom or the focus? I think it's the zoom, where you can adjust the tightness of that. You can make it very smooth and fast, or you can make it to where you really got to work with it. I wish they had something like that on the zoom and/or focus ring for this lens. It's not a big deal. I found the build quality of this lens is exceptional. The grippiness of both the zoom ring and the focus ring, they both feel very smooth. And even if you're kind of hot and sweaty, it's got some ridges on it, so it feels nice. No complaints whatsoever regarding the build quality of this lens. It's one of the best filling lenses that I own. And again, it is kind of big and it is kind of heavy, and I'm reiterating that not as a negative, but just because I'm telling you the truth. I mean, if you look at lenses online and you're like, you know, maybe you're looking at the Sony Zeiss 24-70. I used to own that lens, and it was a pretty good lens, but it wasn't anywhere nearly as sharp as this. It did not have the f2.8 aperture, but it was smaller and it was lighter. So, you know, it's really a matter of personal preference. Now, for me, you know, owning and operating Our Skies Adventure channel, it's important that I get the best, not just the best video quality, but also get the best still photo quality. And having this lens, I mean, it's an exceptional performer. I mean, if I'm using it, or I'm using my prime lenses, it's hard to distinguish the difference. I mean, Zeiss gives a little bit different color than a Sony G Master, but for 95% of your people out there, you know, YouTube viewers, people that are looking at photos on their Instagram, like Art Sky on Instagram, it's going to be hard to distinguish between something that was captured with a G Master lens, as a G Master zoom lens, and a prime lens. Now, G Master does make prime G Master lenses, and I haven't dabbled with those yet, because I'm a big Zeiss guy. I love the Zeiss Batis lenses, and the Zeiss Batis lenses are very small and lightweight. So, but yeah, initial impressions of the 24-70 G Master, you know, just a very, very strong performer. Works equally well on the A7R III that I'm using to film this video, and also the A7 III that I'm not using in this video. So again, expand this video's description, and you can find the 24-70 G Master, the really nice lens case, like I was telling you about. The 24-70 G Master, mine came with a lens case, but it was huge. I wanted something very small and form-fitting, and that's what I use. And that's what I've got, my 16-35 that's in my backpack. It's in a case like that. Curiously enough, I use the same size case for the 24-70 G Master that I use for the 16-35. So just a good way to put it in your backpack. You know, like I've got all this stuff back here in the back, and you know, have a high degree of confidence that, you know, the lenses aren't going to become damaged. And this backpack I'm wearing is waterproof, so, you know, I've got a waterproof pack, and then I've got, you know, the lenses in that case. So, and there's a lot of pollen out today. Whew. I was about to sneeze, but I didn't. But yeah, just a really good lens. If you're on the fence, just do it. I mean, it's one of those things, you know, a native Sony lens, there's a lot of third-party options. And check out my other videos where I review the Tamron 28-75, kind of a different focal length, but I was very impressed with that lens. But again, the bokeh, the background bar, totally subjective, but I feel that the Sony G Master is the king in that department. So it's hard to beat the bokeh that the G Master lenses produce, and that's important. It gives it really, you know, gives that video or that photo a very professional look, very high-end look. And if you want to be a high-end channel, like Our Skies Adventure channel, again, independent channel, don't have a big budget, but I do want everything to look super high-end. So with that being said, if you want to support my channel, expand this video's description and then click the links there. You can find where to order the 24-70 G Master, the A7R III, the A7 III, the microphone I'm using, the tripod, the lens cases, and even this backpack I'm wearing. You can find it on my website. That helps me a lot being an independent YouTuber. If you choose to support my channel by going through my links when you buy stuff, that's super cool. Other ways you can support me, you can simply subscribe to this channel, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video, and you know, like this video. Thought it was good, like it. Comment below, tell me what you think. And most importantly, thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Rick Sky here. Thanks again for your viewership. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. If you're looking for Our Skies Adventure channel merch, like this t-shirt and a lot of other cool stuff, expand this video's description. You can find it all there. Y'all have a good day.